On December 23, 2025, when this video was released, the Angry Birds Movie 3 will be released in theaters the very next year in 2026. And oh boy, this is very exhausting. As of the time I'm making this video, the production of Angry Birds Movie 3 is still going on. And since then, we got updates and new casts have been revealed. That's be seen like YouTubers being involved, like Ian and Anthony coming back to the role Paul and Bubbles, Mr. Beast, the most subscribed channel on YouTube, will be the voice role of this movie. Hopefully his reputation is not going worse because you can't have this movie successful if this guy gets into some controversy. And most recently, Red and Silver are married and have their son, voiced by none other than Kanye West, the son of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West.
Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially
Ever since the release of the first Angry Birds movie, the franchise that started in 2009 have been rapidly changing for better and for worse. And what a journey they had for Angry Birds fans. So much has happened in over 10 years for games that are unrecognizable with Angry Birds games that are on the App Store or Google Play Store are now a bunch of ads and microtransactions in it. And you know, for Angry Birds fans, it's been a journey to say it. After years of being a rebellion against these greedy corporations, some supported it, which leads us to falling into that trap. The franchise has been into the roller coaster ride for over 10 years. With all of the stuff I talked about on this channel and a bunch of Angry Birds fans talking about it. And recently, Angry Birds has been getting into the recovery for us to say it after years of being into the fire storm for over the years. While some of them are not what is expected, at least Angry Birds will be here to stay. With the classic design coming back, with Bounce and Rush and a bunch more, and the fans are somehow working at Angry Birds Watch. Hopefully we don't follow the same trap as last time. So now the question is, what will the start of summer of Angry Birds movie that could be in on the big screen would look like? And most importantly, what will this movie have a impacting of the franchise like its predecessor did? That impacting the franchise for better and most importantly, getting worse. Well, honestly, we just have to see what will happen once we got the trailer or leaked footage from this movie. But for the sake of this video, what would I think the story number could be like, or what the story of this be? Ever since the last one, the franchise have been into downward over the years. The classic games have been removed on App Store or Google Play Store because of some old edges that going into extinct and replaced it with a new one, which is why you still see them today, including bad tickets that use that engine, due to the fact that companies were smart to defend after this and decided to re-releasing the classic game that started low and supporting it and not falling into that trap and remove it entirely. Unless if you have them on your car and a good stock party that use the same formula and a bunch more stuff like that. And most importantly, the new stuff that happened is the new bird counter in the series since the last movie like Melody, Joe, Gordon, and everyone's favorite Red Sister Ruby, who is made by a Mexican artist on Twitter named Queen So yeah, the series have been dramatically different when the second movie was released, and these new stuff that we are seeing in the few years. And what will happen when the third novel will be like? The first movie was released during Angry Birds have the original design and the games that are peak, and the second movie was released at the worst time when we have overproduced games and the classic games have been removed on our App Store or Google Play Store. And the third movie, we just have to see. And leading into the movie, we still have the franchise have been recovering. And also new birds and a bunch more stuff like two Angry Birds shows on different streaming services. And some classic games are coming back like Angry Birds Block Party and something like that. Honestly, what my future will probably get some right and sometimes get it wrong. Every week stuff we have, we just assume if they're gonna appear. So in this video, we will dive into the Angry Birds movie theory, where I was speculating on what the story of this movie could be like, and if we get something right, and if it's something wrong, because right now the trailer and the movie release is still too early. So my prediction will sometimes getting right and sometimes getting wrong. I would be 50% sure it will. So if I correctly them right and some of them are wrong, then it's fine. So anyway, without further ado, let's deep dive into what do I think the third installment of Angry Birds movie 3 will be look like. So by looking at what the third installment gonna look like, we need to go back to the predecessor of the trilogy, mainly the first and the second. First, we're gonna look at the first movie. So the first Angry Birds movie is basically you can probably guess what I'm talking about. It was the first video game movie adaptation that followed the original game respectively, and it's a movie that goes over $1,300 million worldwide at box office. This movie was kind of just started off the video game movie era we living in today, like a Minecraft movie, the Chicken Jockey thing, the Mario movie, and other stuff like other Paramount films, Sonic the Hedgehog, eventually. What I was saying, oh, the Angry Birds movie. I could probably talk about all the stuff of this first movie, like the classic, including the Smash cast like Ian and Anthony, and the pigs like Leonard, or the animation was made by Warrior's own animation studio, or Mighty Eagle P on the lake that Shaka Bob swimming at it. Oh god. But I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about the main character, the main protagonist of the first movie. You know him, you love him, Red. Now, why do I need to talk about Red when making a video on what does a summon gonna look like? Well, if you know the basis of Red and the movie, you could probably guess why. You see, when watching Red go through in this first movie, you could probably see what Red is going through. In the first movie, Red was literally obnoxious, arrogant, and most importantly, grumpy and also angry. Get it? Angry Birds? Okay, that's enough of that. Throughout the first few moments of this movie, Red was just as outsider from the bird society who just is a grumpy piece of shit that no one fits into it, so they ignore him entirely. And it doesn't even help throughout in the first few minutes after getting into the hash state, the living decay was too late, and after some argument between Red and Womble, who is the father of the hatchling that gonna be his hash day, Red actually slipped into the floor, landing at the egg, which where the baby was at, and crashing into it, but not the baby at this. And because Red was the first person the hatchling saw, this caused that baby seeing Red as his father.
I never wanted my face to be the first face your baby saw. I mean, what are we talking about here? He probably doesn't even remember me.
So the parents of the child went to the court to testify of the crime that he caused. After the judge testifying that he has anger issues which later caused some tensions, and Red seeing the flaws of the judge that he has not tall, the judge decided to take him to anger management class, where we find out that in the class is one of the recognizable faces from this franchise, Chuck, Bob, Matilda, and Terrence, one of the most recognizable faces from this franchise. Where the reason why they came here is that Chuck doing some fun for stupid reason, Bob he gets upset or angry, causing him to explode, and Terrence. Okay, let's just pretend that we never saw that. Oh yeah, Matilda. She's just a teacher who can teach these Angry Birds therapy sessions. And it did not go as well as they expected doing it.
Day. Bomb?
So yeah, besides Red just being a douche, and even if they tried to do a better version, which ended up pretty badly, Red was kind of just don't know what he was going to do. The entire bird society just treating him as a complete joke, and people make fun of him for being that. He has big eyebrows. And if Red will try to find connection, The entire society just ignored him entirely. So Red was nowhere else to go, just being an outsider and alone at the house in the beach, where we see the poster of Mighty Eagle, an eagle that the bird island idolized, and the protection of the island. This shows that Red wants to be a part of the bird community, but like I said before, the entire bird society treats him as a joke, so he has no choice but being alone. That makes him lonely and depressed. And yes, he did that like chuck a bomb, but it's just completely useless, and it didn't help that these two have different interests in mind, which makes Red look like a completely joke. And the loneliness causing him to where he is throughout the first movie, and the consequence of what led him to do a therapy session to not become like that, which is he is not good at it. So Red was just some outsider that the person decided to treat him as a joke for the rest of his life. That is, until the pigs show up and destroying his house for some reasons.
Your house was ugly!
I could probably tell what the pigs doing at the bird island, like how Leonard tried to manipulate the entire bird society, believing his lies that sort of worked and got away with it and stealing the eggs. But we're just gonna talk about Red thinking about the pigs being here. Red was kinda skeptical of what the pigs are into and finding the flaws, so as Red and probably his duo like Chuck and Bomb tried to find what the pigs are into and actually tried to tell the truth, Leonard just manipulated the entire bird society, believing his lies, and it worked. Yeah, Red wasn't having it. As more pigs showing up at the island and probably are not related to some political stuff in this movie, Red needs to find the only bird that's skeptical of the pigs, and that is Mighty Eagle, the one bird that he idolizes for the rest of his life. But I say find him and this. We find out that Mighty Eagle was a cock and just being an egotistic for himself and the fame. And as Red tried to tell Mighty Eagle to take the pigs out, Mighty Eagle says no because he retired or because of the heel shit because of it. Remember, Red idolizing him not because of his ego, but the savior of the bird island that he lived for this life around. So when he finding out that the truth about him, the only bird that disaster like this would never happen, Red was kind of just lost trust on Mighty Eagle because he's a cock and the pigs were about to steal the eggs. If Mighty Eagle was a protection of the bird lions, none of this ever happened.
When I was a kid, I believed nothing really bad could ever happen because you were here. And now I see the fate of the world hangs on idiots like me. And that, sir, is sort of terrifying.
It's time for you to go.
You know, it's really upsetting to me that you're the only bird that can fly, and you're too afraid to do it.
So Red just leave and just run away and decided to fight the pigs himself with Chuck a bomb, of course, and they're here to stop the pigs getting the eggs.
Is that his comeback? Is that all he's got? No, you're a poopy head. Can we spell it out? You're a poop.
And the rest of the search just Red influenced the entire bird to join his order and went to the piggy island, blah blah blah, just restarting to get bird to catch the pig castle, with Red getting to the castle with Chuck a bomb falling in soup, blah 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 blah. The one egg that they never got, so Red just sacrificed himself on the battle between Red and Leonard, and as they falling into the ground with the huge TNT. Oh my god. Leonard, as he tried to put this one egg to get cooked, said to Red the word.
You're finished, eyebrows.
That one joke that the entire bird society mocked him and that made him angry that led him to this mess in the first place. As Red over gets angry at Leonard and finding out that being angry was not the only solution that caused him to be alone and lonely, Red decided to congratulate him for this plan and Leonard thank him. But Red manipulating Leonard, so he falling into Red's trap and catching the eggs, sacrificing himself as the pig city gets completely destroyed. As the rest of the birds see the entire destruction of the pig city and finding out there's no way he could survive this, so they ran out. But wait. Oh, thanks that one hatching after seeing Red as your daddy as a signal that Red is alive. But wait, remember the egg the Red catch? Well, we later found out that the eggs was a blue the entire time, and he gives them to the parrot for it. So Red finally saved the eggs, getting eaten by the pigs, and now that he is a hero, they finally accepted him as part of the Bird Society, a society that treated him as a completely joke from the start. Now praises him for his heroic action with his house being built. Now he is part of the Bird Society. But his story was finally over. He finally got what he wanted. But what happens when the Bird Society move on from it? And what happens to Red as Bird Society move on from being a hero? Well, the sequel came in, and
Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do.
so the sequel was honestly very much not close to what the original Angry Birds is supposed to be. Unlike the first movie that followed the format of the original Angry Birds open source material, the sequel was just stopped using the format of the source material of what Angry Birds is supposed to be. There was no concept of pigs stealing the eggs, which has been the main fundamental of the series since the beginning, or just any of that. It's basically a movie with Angry Birds characters. Despite the movie had positive reviews for most of the motto than the first one, it's still not closing at the box office numbers that the first movie did. And since this movie was trying to be different from its original source material of what Angry Bird is, the fans were kinda not happy that the sequel was not following the format of the original Angry Birds. I get that. Maybe this movie was not meant to be a true Angry Birds. But on the other side, the story is in the worst way possible. So Red was now the protection of the Bird Island because the pigs just being out there being dicks again, and since the events of the first movie, the birds and the pigs are now into prank war, and it's basically a cold war between the Bird Island and the Piggy Kingdom. Because after the first movie they got caused the mess of the islands, they decided to chill it through, but still being enemies because of the dispute. So they decided that pranking was their weapon to fight through, and after days of pranking and probably causing the pigs to innovate, a giant ball falling from the sky, crashing it into the Piggy Island. And later discovers a new challenge and approaches. They find a third island named Eagle Island with a leader by the name of Zeta. So after they realizes that the Eagle Island will be a major threat and probably destroy their island for good, they decided to team up with the Bird Island and have a truce just so that they could take down the Eagle Island once and for all. But Red, being a skeptical of the pigs, ignoring the truth, but it's too late. They got the message to the entire Bird Island and they just accepted it? Huh? I guess maybe because the birds were just being stupid, so they accepted it. It is not even a good messaging. It's just that the letter was said that they want truce. Not even a single mention that the third island will destroy them. All. Maybe they did it, but if they got that message from that, oh god. So after Bird Island got the truce with the pigs, the entire Bird Island just completely moved on from Red as a hero from now on. Now for the first few minutes of this movie, Red was trying to protecting the Bird Island from the pig shenanigans. But one major problem from that is that Red was just how the Bird Islands think he is. If you go back to the first movie, Red was just alone, lonely from everyone else. Despite having Chuck and Bomb, and even after the Bird Island just now see him as everyone else, there is the only thing that people seeing Red as a hero that protecting the Bird Island, a symbol that have his story be shown to millions. Just like how the Bird Society see the same thing for Mighty Eagle. But unlike a Mighty Eagle, Red would just never to be like him, or just is it just like his egotist. He wants to have connection with others, but just like I said, the Bird Society see her as a hero of the Bird Island, not the other way around that Red wanted it. So after the truth of the birds with this, the Bird Society just moved on from Red as a hero. That makes Red feel the same way as he did when he was in the first movie. lonely, and depressed. If you count Sugar Bomb, that one was just the same as the first movie. So, Sugar Bomb decided that Reds were going to have a with speeding dating, a real-life version of the dating app that makes you lonely and depressing as Red was. After failing to get the girl because she just doesn't care, Red comes across Silver, who he doesn't know that she is Chuck's sister when they met. Oh no, you were in trouble. After some conversation with Silver and her doing announcing Red, hey, I did that for this video. Red finally comes home after he leaves, and just like I said, Red's going back the same way as it was in the first movie. Arrogant and probably depressing. That is until Leather shows up.
Hello! Oh!
After some dispute that Red was skeptical of the pigs and kidnapping him in his house, Leonard telling him that there's a third island coming to destroy us all for good. Since Red was being the hero of the last time, since there is a new island coming to destroy us, why do the same thing as another one? And finally, after years of revivals despite each other, they settle their differences and finally take down the third island to stop them from getting away to destroy the islands for good. But first, we need a team. Chaka Mom was into it at least, including Mighty Eagle, who is the only eagle that Red knows in all of his life, and as they show him the Eagle Island to Mighty Eagle,
Eagle Island!
Yes! So you heard? Heard of it?
and so they got Mighty Eagle, the only eagle that knows about the Eagle Islands, and maybe Chuck and Bomb. So they finally need the last person that knows about the super weapon on the volcano, someone who knows about the engineering of the third island and that giant ball coming from the volcano, and wonder of that person that know how to stop this giant ball from getting launched at the volcano is Silver. She is the engineering and pretty much just perfect to stop these giant ice balls from getting launched. And she is also the same person that Red met at the speed dating thing before this. How convenient is that, right? Then they went to the Eagle Mountain, showing the team how to plan to stop the weapon from the giant ice ball from getting launched, which went pretty badly. And also, oh god. And after they showed the team of the leader charging at the island, which makes my Eagle
Whoa. Hey, buddy.
Do you know her?
What, me? No, definitely not. Absolutely not. Never seen her before in my life. Who is that? I don't know.
But then a giant ice ball coming into the Eagle Mountain, making our hero just evacuate the mountain and escape with it, and it's successfully.
Oh, my mountain!
And also some sus moments from Red and Silver. Oh my god, are they going to prove the relationship? And then after they finally went on a mission of the plan to stop the third island, they encountering a giant submarine from the pigs, and as they finally went in, and also this. And a bunch of pig technology that is so advancing and innovative. Whoa, I guess maybe they innovated with the prank Cold War shenanigans between the birds and the pig when they're still rivals after the first movie. That's my imagination of that. And they finally went on the Eagle Island, and this. Mighty Eagle was not going to be here at the mission because the one leader controlling the entire Eagle Mountain was actually in love with Mighty Eagle this entire time. And they tell him all up the backstory of what happened, showing it in 20 years ago. They were in fact went along and happy together, but as Zeta going to give the wedding ring and someone going to get married someday, he freaking abandoned her and leaves. So he spent all the time just to move on and spending his life in the Island just because he doesn't want to be with her. What a coward and a moron, though, you frick. So he went out and leave just like last time. Man, what is wrong with you, mighty eagle? The gang went in on a mission. The other ones is entire was just going in on the eagle's disguise, or the other is just red and silver, mainly red orders. So as the entire gang with the eagle's disguise tried to get the car just so they can use that to access the door that they could finally open. Unfortunately, it went terribly and very hilariously worse.
I'm just gonna.
During the mission under the orders of Red, that goes to show the super weapon that resulted in him failing in it and got caught. And Zeta trapped them on this really pool or whatever it's called and telling them the entire plan of what she's going to do. She wants the entire two islands into Zeta's paradise, kind of like some girls a little bull crap. And then they show him to see the giant ice balls with molten lava get launched and almost destroy the two islands by the giant ice ball with freaking molten lava. Very easy preventing it to evacuate because the Red said it would never happen before they went on a mission.
You all had the chance to evacuate, but for some reason, you didn't.
So you are 100% sure we shouldn't evacuate?
I am sure no one needs to evacuate. Everybody just stay calm.
Sorry. Not sorry. I'm truly not sorry.
So we're just completely lost hope, and Zeta finally got her wish and finally started the countdown to completely annihilate the two islands into Zeta's paradise. After years of Red being a hero, years being like after treating him as a joke, years of protecting his home from the attackers, but this one just can't. After all the time, Red wants to be like and a hero for years after the first movie, but the only thing he's missing is friends and connection. That's the thing he thinks about it in the first movie. If he tried to do it on his own, doing the mission, it won't work because without the team, it would probably fail and probably being a jerk to not knowing what happened if Zeta just launching the ice ball into his home. The thing he just said it will happen. Red wants to be like, and also a hero that saved his island after the first movie, but he failed the same way as he did before. Remember, he commanded the entire bird island to stop the pigs from eating the eggs, and he did. But once he commanded another one, it went pretty badly. And after seeing his island get destroyed by Zeta, Red just doesn't know how to handle the situation and afraid that the people will turn on him just like he did in the first movie. A bird that the bird society annoy him and not haunt him. So after the entire gang just completely blew the door by bomb and this.
Really, guys?
What? No. We weren't. Yeah, they were.
Red decided that the order of the mission to prevent this from happening is none other than Silver. Remember, she is the engineer and know what the super weapon is capable of. So after she planned to stop the super weapon from the giant ice ball with her and Red and a bunch of stuff, I won't get into it. They finally were ready to prepare this from happening, and the result.
Baby shark.
No, not the baby shark. Not that. This. It doesn't work. It should be exploding by now. So Silverfan failed, and now their islands will be under Zeta's property. But then Mighty Eagle showed up out of nowhere. After the fact that when he sees the photo of him and Zeta, the one person responsible for all of this, decided that maybe I'm too harsh for her. So he finally went in with Zeta for the first time since the wedding, and as he tell her to forgive for all this happening in the past, Zeta just completely harsh on him for being a dick and arguing. But wait, as Mighty Eagle saying it to her with all the book crap in the past, and also saying heartstring, that caused Red to realize that super string, a string on Silver's hair, that could possibly turn the entire string into double. So when Red told her to with the super string and analyzing it, she decided to use her string with the help of her brother Chuck to use the super string on the super weapon over the ice ball, just so the ice ball get pulled back with the super string into the super weapon and exploding it. So Cena pulling the button up the Audrey here with a hard spin. Oh wait, you thought her hit the poison when he left, but no. In fact, they were in fact actually married, and she proved when she revealed her daughter that they are in fact his daughter. So all of this that she caused is because of her husband meeting and leave her doing the wedding. And somehow after went into the paradise, going completely was like another was in the first movie, just completely like about the hero shit. And have the mountain with his face on it just so they can have the paradise worship him as a hero. No wonder why Zeta just used her idol to completely destroy his mountain with the image of the eagle. That is a symbol for his shit. And also, if she wins, she will try these other things to her hair, but it's like establishing her own colony. This is Titan under the management level from Mega Mind. Great, we now have these two worst people in this movie. Oh god, I accidentally writing a retrospective of Megabytes movie 2 for a bit of what the next installment of the next one that was released a few years ago when I was writing the script. I will probably sure make a review at that Sunday with a program of that if I had to. Anyway, the plan fight is successful this time. The volcano and the superworld got completely destroyed, and now Zeta finally learned his lesson and got along with Mighty Eagle, or his real name, Ethan, and have the wedding ceremony with Ethan and Zeta get married for real this time after being abandoned by her for 20 years because of that. And after that, everyone getting cheers for Larry being a hero again for his accomplishment, for saving the idols and gave him a speech. But as Wes gave the speech to the people, Wes saw Silver just wave goodbye as she went out for, university sort of thing. Remember, she is the one that orchestrated the plan to stop Cena from attacking their island and this whole super stream thing, sort of. So with Wes seeing her just wave goodbye and leave, you can just think he is the one planning this, or being a hero. Silver is, and in order that deciding will make him the he planned this all along. But Red don't want to be this, so after preventing her to leave and get back, then as Red gave the speech to the people, he thanked Silver for what she did and gave her the title of the hero she deserved, and crediting this to stop the super weapon. Silver asked Red that he doesn't do it on her own, but Red asked her that because we are a team. And Wes thanks the team that have been on the mission, including the pigs like Leonard and a bunch of others. I don't imagine that all he did take the Mighty Eagle despite being a dig and those Ashley. I shouldn't forget to mention that being it is the speed story of the movie, and the only thing they did was grab one of these super strings to not get broke. I will probably make a silver video of the movie or so in the future video, please. And now showing the bird landing on the mountain, getting redesign, showing the face into it forever, like it's a freaking Mount Rushmore or something like that. And that's basically it. Except Red and Silver going on dating at the redesign mounting on it and let us know. And Chuck comments and ruined it. I guess it's a obsession with her sister never goes away. So what do we learn from these movies? Well, Red having a girlfriend named Silver and essentially her brother tell her, well, just Chuck saying it on this image. And ever since these 2 hour long movie, especially in the first movie, Red was kind of just don't know what he's gonna do. In the first movie, Red was a lone wolf and no one cares about him. That caused him to not have a chance but to be like this. But as the pigs show up and ruin the fun, Red was the only one skeptical of the pigs since they show up. And that makes the entire bird society praise him for his accomplishment because of that. After the adventure, the pig storing the eggs and take the eggs back for revenge, which earned him a lot of respect to the Bird Island after being a joke of the Bird Island throughout the first movie and have himself be built just is to show his respect. And in the second movie, Red would still have his heroic image, just like his idol Mighty Eagle was when he was a hero or not. But as things change, thanks to this dumb truth messaging, makes Red as a heroic figure a thing of the past. That caused Red to walk the same path as he did in the first movie, lonely and depressed. That's the thing he missed. The one thing, connections. Yeah, he has that with Chocolate Bomb, but they treated it like a minor joke than real connections. So when we see Red meet Silver at the speed dating, we see that he finds one connection, the one thing that he dreamed of from the very start. And yeah, the relationship was not that good, but at least we still have some moment. Like I'm probably not going to say suspicious. And we finally see Red get there for the very end of the movie, and yeah, you can probably tell from the news if you're watching this video that Red and Silver have married and have the son named Ollie, which makes Red as a father in this sort of summit. That one thing that he thinks about in the first movie when we see the parents of the Blues, you will probably tell. I will probably go into third, but for now we're gonna talk about the world building since the last movie. The birds, the pigs, and the eagle are finally at peace after years of war and causing destruction after the events of the second movie. And what about their islands? Well, Bird Island was probably would be the same, except of course the mountains that are now just gangs of peace. This is second movie like Mount Rushmore. The pigs and the Eagle Islands, well, that will probably be a king, or maybe something like a new king like his son Smoochie, or something like Shepherd for his son. But I think I will save it for the next part. And Eagle Islands, well, there isn't a bunch of what I can say, well, except see that Ethan and the son, I meant daughter, I never know what I think about. I guess now living in after some dispute in our way, but we just have to see. I mean, we're looking at the castle in the start of summer. There is literally no mention of the actors that play these characters that I mentioned, like Ethan voiced by Peter Dinklage, Giselle voiced by Leslie Jones, and another voiced by Bill Howdy, and pretty I haven't got into it yet. And if these characters will not be appeared in the sort of song before, then maybe this movie will go through another direction that's separate from the two movies. Who knows if it were the case, but that's what the case is. We go to the next part that theorizing the whole movie that's gonna come out in a few years from now on. Let's go. Right back during the last part, I said what the three islands have been doing since the events of Makeover's Movie 2. Well, Bird Island, yeah, still the same. The Piggy Island and Eagle Island, well, it's very tricky to say. As I started watching the script, there is no voiceful of these characters of like say by the Eagle, Zeta, and even the King of the Piggy Island and Englander, for example. And we don't know if these characters will be returning in the Installment, and if these characters were not going to show up that, then I guess this movie will go to do something different of that. Maybe a foreign island or something like that. But if these characters of the leaders of the island will show up, then what could we expect and what these islands were? Piggy Island was very tricky to say though. Throughout the first and the second movie, the pigs are pretty much innovated sometime. I mean, in the first movie, you see that they have ships, vehicles, and airplanes for some reason, and they got the camera to take photos with the birds, which they have no way the birds are no match of these machines the pigs has. The pigs on this have is not that new. I mean, before this movie, you will see the pigs in Octopus 2 are as very much like they did in the movie, but they have rockets, freaking tank and a freaking missile. Yeah, the birds are no match to these invaders. I don't know why they don't use it and they try to catch these eggs, but hey, no complaint. In the second movie, they got even more advanced than ever. They got drones, a spray that can make you invisible, a device that can track an eagle that close to it, a freaking submarine, and they invented smartphone. I could probably make a video of these Angry Birds memes that will go analyze it, but if I had to, but smartphone? What? What? I guess they use these innovators during the events after the first movie that pigs and the birds were still an enemy in this prank Cold War crap. So what happened after the events of Angry Birds movie 2? I mean, I guess they just play a minor role, but just like we see during the second movie, they got so technologically advanced that we expected, and I would bet the same trend in the Star Installment. Could we see them constructing a freaking rockets? And this could probably explain why the fans thinking of this movie would be Angry Birds Space related, but we'll just go into the next part to find out. But what about the leaders of the Piggy Kingdom? Honestly, we don't know yet. If Leonard will probably not be returning in the Star Summit, then we could possibly say maybe another son Smoochie could be the new king. Or how about Chef Pig? Chef Pig was very much throughout the series, just like the monarchy of the Piggy Kingdom. And I think that's maybe like some corruption with the kingdom, or that Smoochie was a nepo baby that don't know how to control the entire kingdom. Maybe like say a French Revolution sort of thing, and have Chef Pig as a new leader of the entire island to overthrow the monarchy. I don't know what will happen. It's just some factless sort of thing that will never happen. It's just sort of something. But I can see it happen even in different regions, which I do in my own universe that you don't know yet. Honestly, what I think the what the economy how happen will is the sort of storm is very tricky to say. The pigs are very much not viable to the bird anymore. And this franchise knows to have these two species hating each other throughout the series and games for it was the foundation of where Enderman is. And the sequel just blow the entire foundation off. And I just don't know if the birds and the pigs getting along throughout the third story. I don't know my own theory that the pigs will have a revolution became true. Then I guess that the tension between these two will have some blowback. Maybe like have let's say the monarchy in exile in the Bird Island, just to restore the monarchy in the Piggy Island. Probably will not I'm not happening unfortunately. Or maybe like say a repeat of the second movie where they find a bigger threat and the birds and the pigs are fighting for one bird that's gonna destroy them for good. Just like what Eagle Island did in the second movie that can make sense for the honest why. And speaking of Eagle Island, we turned up to them. So Eco Island was just like I said with the Piggy Island throughout the events of Angry Birds movie 2. The Eagle Island became a huge threat to the birds and the Bird Island throughout the rest of the plot. And after the event that prevented them to completely use it as a economy, then suddenly they're just now allied with them. And I just don't know if they're gonna have the war at the summer summit. I just don't know if we were just like the pigs were. And the island were just like the pigs. They're also the rhythm and they have technology advancing for and they have the volcano got completely destroyed. So that's oof. So I don't know if the Eagles will not have them in the war of this movie. The Eagle will somehow will go to move to the Bird Island for a better life. Or maybe let's say they'll prove the island of the events of the Angry Birds movie 2. This is up to see. And the leader, well, Zeta, of course. Yeah, Zeta does not even gonna fit in the Star Summit. The whole insistence of her character and the Eagle Island was her husband, aka Mighty Eagle, or either just completely being a dick and running away from her doing a wedding, that constantly being an absolute moron for just himself in the first movie, and have the Bird Island being his fortune, and have his space being a symbol of that. and being a heroism, while at the same time just completely useless and the egotist. The whole plot of the sequel was just that. It's just his fame and being a symbol of that was crushed into his right after he ran away from being a dick during the wedding and moved to a bird island just so he could live in a mountain and just be himself with the fame and this. I guess he saw her husband for the woke up of the borderline and decided to almost ruin his reputation about that and the result empty where it just completely was. Yeah, we have two third egos just for themselves and the fame, constantly brainwashing the entire species and the cultural personality and have them decide to believe in this crap while also living like a ruler controlling everybody until the very end of the sequel where they finally learn the lessons. And guess what? They finally went along up the events they caused and finally have the having his happy ending and despite all the consequences he just got away from the damages he caused for that just so they could put her on paradise that she went for. She just doesn't deserve to have a crime being avoided and being praised of this. This movie is a real on why. And what happened after it? Well, Zidane and Ethan will go along for that. But I'm sure the last time they did 4 years ago was stupid. But hey, at least they got that earlier with their daughter. And I don't know if they're gonna have them in the Installment. And with that so, then maybe I guess just like what Matilda and Terrence were in the sequel, they're on the minor balls of the separate kids. Who knows if they could have them in the main role? Could they help the plot from the situation for a new villain? Or maybe they like same team up just like the pigs were in the sequel to team up against a new villain. And maybe like have new equal characters sort of thing like they did in the sequel. Oh, I forgot to mention the Eagle Island. I mean, just like the Piggy Kingdom, Caesar was a ruler of the island like a dictator sort of. I don't know if we could just have the same treatment as a Eagle Island instead of revolution someday. That would be weird at the plot of the movie and the world movie. And the Bird Island, well, I don't know. Sure, where the entire plot was going to be here in this island throughout the start of summer, but the island itself, yeah, I don't know what I can say about it. I mean, the island has a long community, people who can live in what the future is, and finding like a basically a liberal democracy, or also just like the pigs and the eagle island has some rulers like Mighty Eagle, for example. Maybe I don't know if Mighty Eagle will still be the leader of the Bird Island. Maybe have Red take his place, or someone take the job of the Bird Island. If the Bird Island was a democracy, they could probably have some election where they collect a leader of the Bird Island. Maybe a president or something like that. So throughout the events of the first movie, we saw the destruction of the island, their home being destroyed, taking some unknown species that caused this to happen, and this trauma causing them to hate each other. And the reason the prank war happened, it was years of war for who would be the top player. I mean, doing it and the aftermath of the first movie was just this trauma causing them to trust each other on why they see them as enemies and why they don't trust each other, except later he is the one causing this for it. And this war lasted until a new chapter came into place where the girl was to destroy it with the ice ball and turning them into the colony. And suddenly, the birds and the pigs went inside the surface and empty up to stop the girl and get their way. And they pretty much successfully after that, the basic blah 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 blah. And finally, like the one with the bird and the pig and the little summit. Well, who's to say? I think after years of wars, destruction, and pranking stuff, we started to see these islands are now finally went along for it, and bring peace to say, while also having the leader who caused all of this mess in the first place. I could probably see them have trade or something like that for this world after that. I could probably imagine something like that. But yeah, you could probably imagine what this world in this third movie gonna be like. Might just basically just have them trade or something like other species move to other island for a better life. I mean the last time they did were not going well at least. But just like what they did in our world, I can't imagine what politics is gonna look like. I mean, by theory, the water pigs have the gonna have the revolution because it was computer with that thing. Like imagine Chef Pig said that trade was the reason for it, and they need petition it so that they can keep it up. I don't know. The movie is that. It's still not out yet from next year. Yeah, that's what I can think of what the world building is. Let me know in the comments of what the world building is gonna be, because I'm not sure what is gonna be sure in this sort of summer. So we'll move on to the next one, and that is. Oh boy, this topic has been gone into depth for fans that grew up with this series since the beginning. Like, you can't what the Star of Summer will be without even digging into what the social feel of the world look like. This is a topic that would never make sense to me, but I think the reason is will make a lot of sense later on. So I wouldn't give two reasons that the first will happen and the second will not happen. We started with the first. So the reason this topic of why this movie will be a space related theme is because not because it's just for nostalgia reason, it's because they want to see the movie was expanding it. If you look at the game of Angry Birds Space, you see that this game has expanded into the concept of Angry Birds. We see there's new levels that instead of just regular levels on the ground for previous games, we start to see them in the new way. We see gravity introduced, the planets, the environments, the atmosphere. We see our birds turn into some superhero. We do gears and new powers, at least for some, but it also created a new original character that we never seen in the previous game. Like Iceberg, for example, the pigs are technologically advanced than before. You will get the point. Angry Birds Space was the peak of what the true concept Angry Birds is. And I think the reason fans want this to happen is because since the last two Angry Birds movie, we see just the basic Angry Birds stuff like living on the island sort of thing and taking down the pigs and the eco island. Maybe like say for island if they were in the second one. And having that in the sort summer will look dull for the audience that we've seen it a bunch of times. So having a third movie based off an Angry Birds Space will expand something new and fleshy, and it will basically be the sort to explore a new world, not going through island thing again, which I think will help a way for storytelling of these characters to explore what the world is, and for let's say a new threat on the horizon like aliens or to bring in Iceberg and Hector in this movie. And in fact, the reason why is that in the sequel we not only see the pigs technology are very much closer to modern technology that could possibly be used in the storm report this and probably just sending them into rockets, but also we kind of see them in space for this instead the Hachi where we see them in space in the second movie. And if there's a satellite out of nowhere, this has been a mystery for why this existed. If this was made on humans, that humans would exist in this movie verse, or let's just say if it was made something that is not from Earth. So let's just say this satellite was made by an alien that could possibly be a new threat in the source form. So Angry Birds movie 3 inspired by a space theme will make a lot of sense of why the satellite came here, or maybe just a human made it. We just have to see if this was the case. And also in the Angry Birds games, they still have the rivalry between the birds and the pigs. So the thing if this could happen, it could possibly bring back the concept of the original source of hero Angry Birds, like the birds and the pigs fighting each other, and possibly bring it back the foundation of what Angry Bird is, the eggs getting stolen. Honestly, we don't know if this could happen. It might only be that the pigs will have a resolution someday. Then maybe I guess it will happen, but I don't know it will take place in space. That would look ridiculous. Or something like a new pigs like Ectopork, which we don't know is also an incubus space character type somehow live in the unknown planet, and he basically like an alien pig. And he also messed up the mirror world thing where the space soldiers got trapped in the real world from the 2012 version and the reloaded version. I could imagine a movie flock who just got trapped in the real world for the rest of the movie. I could set the stage for this, and that also could make a lot of sense for the satellite. I could imagine this was operated by Hector, which I think that they would concentrate his attention to discover the world. I could imagine he would be the main villain of this movie if it did happen. And Iceberg, I couldn't imagine that as he be lost, he falling back to the bird island and crashing into it, and probably warned all the entire flock with that there's a new threat that gonna destroy them all, and the birds, the pigs, and the eagles joined forces to stop the new threat to destroy the islands. Or if Hector was not gonna be here in this or something, maybe let's say they have aliens in this movie. Oh god. Yeah, that's what I think of what the Incubus movie based off of space really will look like. I think it will probably happen eventually, but that's what the fans speculating about, which I think will lead to the second reason of why I think this will never happen. First off, the main reason is I don't know what will happen is because Incubus movie 2. The sequels have new ideas and have their own thing, let's say the Eagle Eyes or something, and that proves that the song will just be like its own thing, like its predecessor did. Also, I think the people working at this movie will probably just avoid the concept of Incubus entirely because I think the last time they adapted it when the first Incubus movie was released, it got some controversy behind the political side, but it's so controversial that the studio needs to avoid the purpose of this. So instead, we need to create new ideas that are separated from the game version entirely. And I think the start of Struggle will not be like an Incubus space thing. It could possibly be his own thing, like just like it did predecessor did, like have a Fort Island with the new species came along for that. And also, I think since the Incubus space was no longer being on an App Store or Google Play Store and will be on Las Vegas for someday, I don't think it will have the impact on the people that are working on this sort of software have influencing on the game that are now being delisted. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. They're still going on this decade so far, like Reloaded and most recently Incubus 2 Space Limited event, but that was only recently. And I don't know if the people working on this movie will probably do the same thing. Yeah, that's what I think it was. Maybe let's say Rovio wants to make a space scene in this movie. If the soundtrack was that proper for Rovio, who knows if they gonna do that. And also, I don't want to mention the fact that the two Incubus movie was a comedy, which the space we need to take the story seriously, which I don't think the studio will do that, unfortunately. And maybe let's say a licensing deal with NASA, which by the way they collaborated with Romeo to make the Incubus space game, and I don't think it will happen with the other song being a space related. If say NASA will going to be involved with this movie, and I mean recently we have more Incubus stuff like Reloaded and Incubus 2 as limited reversible that have no collaborating with NASA, and there's a comic book of where we see Iceberg getting chased by Hector Pig and tell Hector some more just story and some multiple sort of thing. But yeah, with the Incubus space stuff that coming out, maybe the other summer will take place in space with new tech and new base that will based on will happen. But who knows? The only way to prove it is by when the trailer of this movie gonna come out, or a studio or company and maybe people working at this movie that confirms it. If they're gonna say they're gonna space theme and have the scene of the world based on Incubus space on the trailer, that is confirmed that they will do it. If not, then that's fine. We're probably not gonna see it happen, but at least the movie would do its own thing at the character storytelling. And speaking of characters, we're gonna talk about them in the next part. Oh boy, the characters of the third installment. Yeah, this is gonna get more attention than I thought it was. So during the writing of the script for this video, I'm posing on what these characters development gonna be in the r/slash Incubus subreddit, so I could know what these characters in the subreddit gonna look like. Yeah. So here what these characters development gonna be. So we first start off is the only one I respond for is Bubbles and Hal. Yeah, if you only he knew the news that these characters will confirm will return in this installment, which I did report it on the Incubus News, including other YouTubers like me and Anthony, who by the way voiced Howler Bubbles, Mr. Beast, and this other YouTuber who was busy using Mr. Beast style content. And yeah, I told him that they confirm it will happen while also telling him what he think about these characters are gonna be like. And that's the only response he got. So how the bubbles in the Angry Birds movieverse were, let's just say, throughout the plot, were treated as cameos, unlike the game, but which is gonna be a simple way. The movie counterpart were just like other birds in the eye, like NPC for instance in the first movie. They sort of just appeared getting along together throughout the entire it. I guess maybe because the voice acting role to our Ian Anthony, who if you watch Smarts through the golden years of YouTube, they're basically just some two guys doing wacky things while also getting along together and being friends for the rest of their lives. Or not like something like that. And this movie was just throughout it just was that maybe except just getting participating in the resolution to get into the big castle, which yeah.
He's going, Doc. Get down.
Did we win?
Know how you were just that close to the castle and then you boom right back and then you go back to where it started. Well, Bubbles, yeah, just you could probably guess why.
Don't mess with Bubble! I told you not to mess with me!
While these characters doesn't have much travel in this movie, they are in fact have been spending the growth in the short film during the promotion of the first Angry Birds movie, and it's just they arguing on why they call it Angry Birds when they find not angry enough, and Bubble just tried to look angry but instead he looked like he was smiling, and then so to speed over it and then declared that angry is not for them. And what about the sequel? Well, how was in this for somehow like how he is scared during the event that Bird and Pig are still enemies, and I guess he has a girlfriend for some reason around it. And Bubbles, he was not in the sequel throughout it. The main reason why Bubbles not appeared in the sequel was very complicated. Either it's because during the production of the sequel, Anthony left Smarts, either because of the fight media or that the friendship with Ian is going worse, which is causing him to leave Smarts, which led Ian being in charge in 2017, or that Ian was not good at voicing Bubbles, at least in his mind. I don't think his role in this movie was not what Ian thinking it is. I think it's because that Bubble was not fitted into the classic Bubble, where it's just a child doing childish things like Blues for example. They could sort of have Bubbles like Hatchling, but instead we got a grow-up Bubbles. And Anthony departure from Smash, well, yeah, that one. I could probably tell what happened, but you can just look at all the YouTubers covering that topic. I'm just making a video of this movie could come out in a few years, it's gonna be like. But if you don't know it already, well, the 5 media box Smash in 2011, which at least Smart expanded its influence. Later, they got new people being in Smash, which students say were still working at Smash. And there's also a Smash movie reason like good at the box office, and another one on YouTube equipment or streaming service next year. And it's also the same year the first Angry Birds will be allowing Anthony voicing the role of the movie, and also doing it at that time. The 5 media got some greedy shit doing it, which then later in 2017, and they left Smash because of it, and wanted to independently and create freedom from separating from Smash or the Mind Media. And next year, the 5 media got bankrupt because of breeding crap, which caused the team of Smash left their own until late 2018. And the next year, the same year, the Angry Birds movie 2 coming out where Anthony voicing as how Smash was bought by Venerable Entertainment, which is owned by Red and Link, who was not only the part of the golden age of YouTube, they also collaborated with Ian and Anthony doing it. And then 3 years later, after Ian and Anthony reunited talk about the memory of the old Smash video, they decided to own Smash again from Venerable Entertainment because the owner were, in fact, doing the ownership were going to bring Smash back to them. So it's friends. And yeah, to this day, they're still friends after all these years, and the company is still independent since then. So yeah, that's basically what happened. Which then the Eggers will be free are now finally confirmed Bobo will be here for the first time since the first movie. And honestly, I'm very happy that they brought back Bobo since the last movie where he doesn't even appear maybe because of this what you saw. So what do I think what these characters gonna be in this third installment? Well, who's to say? I think these characters throughout it will probably just like the same like it did in the first movie. Like even if they're not, I think what these characters are gonna develop since the sequel has no bubbles because of Anthony that smart being in charge at Smarts and a bunch of assaults. I can't imagine that these two birds just have the same situation at the end and Anthony. Like imagine that in your movie bus where they're going a separate way and that the reason Boba was not appeared as a sequel and after that they were united. That could possibly be the case. We'll just have that in the short film like it did 10 years ago during the promotion of the first movie. I will just speculating it, but I think this will happen eventually. God, just imagine having these two birds doing the food battle style. Oh god, this will be the greatest content I will ever see. That will be peak. Sorry, I'm just excited to speculating on what these characters are gonna go about. So let's just move on to another one called Stella and possibly Willow. Just that. Honestly, Stella was kind of just have no role in the movie, but in the first movie, he's just appeared often. Sometimes he's just doing some stage performances, and oh yeah, she appeared in Bob's birthday, which is not going well. And as the pigs show up for the first time, so that's asking some question on the pigs. So she told that he's paid off the entire bird island eventually until they saw the eggs.
That's an egg. That's how our children are born. You guys don't lay eggs?
Well, so like, guess what they did when they ran away the island? And yeah, she did participate in the red mission to get into the pig castle, and yeah, that was way closer than I expected it. That's basically what Stella counted in the first movie, and I give this movie two. Yeah, she just started her own store that sells apples. That's basically it. She has no appearing mushroom apple in the sequel. And it doesn't even help that the voice for Stella doesn't even her voicing over Stella in this movie. And how this poster for this upcoming third installment doesn't even feature the voice anti role of Stella. And she does the voice Stella like it did in the sequel, then I guess she will A not show up or B does show up but like in the small role like in this movie too. However, there is somehow giving the movie Stella like a more character growth, and basically it's just like what Holla Bubbles but with this, which is just a graphic novel on this summer which will come out from 2026, which is will have three exact story novels. The Hunting Cup Holocaust will release in the spring, Bringing the Bank will release in the fall, and Level Up will releasing in winter, which is also the same winter where the other summer will release in the theaters. I could probably make a review of these films if I had to, but the reason I'm talking about this is that one of these images on this Kickstarter product showing the image of Stella from basically the entire plot from the Hunting of Hog House novel. And yeah, you can probably imagine that. And yeah, this is basically a relationship between Chuck and Stella. Oh god, imagine if this was the final product of this. Holy crap, man. Gosh, imagine a relationship between Chuck and Stella in a Stella Snowman. Oh man, imagine that. And Willow, well, let's just say I'm sure. Well, yes, she does appear in a bunch in two Angry Birds movie. There is a bunch of her character in this movie throughout it, or maybe just the entire Stella flock, for example. Yeah, there's nothing else to talk about these characters. This is just the same as Holla Bubble, so let's just move stick to another useless character to another useless character. The Blues, well, yes, it is how it appeared in the first Angry Birds movie, which is being born into the wrong face and singing to tribute to Red as a hero by the end of the movie. This is somehow going across the screenshot if you know anything about the Blues in the game. They just use the magical power for no reason and boom, just split it just like it did in the game. And Angry Birds movie too. They just appearing for the rest of the movie and have no part of it. Like, really? They seem to be thought doing the production of the sequel will be the role of the plot, but instead we got another hatching that are not effect blues and have their face in the bone either for the rest of the entire crap. This doesn't help the fact that the Blues have the show in 2017 with 40 episodes and the video combined all have 140 million views and they marketed this for years from being used because they're hatchlings, because they're cute and cute equals marketing. I mean, come on. So instead of we having the Blues having the main role of the sequel that we thought about it, we got these hatchlings that are in fact friends with the Blues doing the Blues show. Got that role of the plot just so they can have their face with the butterfly on the mountain. Oh god. At the summer, honestly, I don't know yet. We thought doing the production of the sequel, the Blues were gonna have the role of this that we hype up for because of this scene that we thought we would have. And then as the sequel came in, they just had a minor role. And instead we got a bunch of other passing that are friends with the Blues in the show. Oh my god. And oh, the person who voiced Jay in the sequel is Georgia Zira. Yeah, she will never voice that Jay in the Southern Starman, unfortunately. Honestly, we don't know if the Blues will have the role of the further movie. Maybe let's say help the Flux from sticky situation by accident, or just team up or part of the flock like they did in the classic version. Like imagine say the Blues was saving Red from almost dying by the villain, and it's kind of like the reverse of the first movie where they saved by not getting eaten by Leonard. That could possibly happen from my knowledge. Yeah, there's a bunch more stuff from space related like Iceberg and Space Pig, which I think if the last part of that was true. The Eagle family, I guess he was talking about Ethan and Zeta's family, and the other guy talking about the Hamburg cats. Okay, possibly we will see what will happen. Just like I said before, these two are morons who cause all these mess in the second and the first movie. And I can't imagine these two will just team up with the flock if a new villain is unrealized. Tyrants, I mean, if it did have more screen time, it would just be a minor role of this. I could probably imagine his kids that will probably be useful like it did in the second movie. That would be the case, but I'm just guessing. Kiki Bramble voicing as Melody, which the whole career was just her singing and Melody character was just her singing it. That would probably fit into her character eventually, like maybe have her as a stage performer for somehow, or just her singing it for the rest of the movie. I could imagine she made a movie soundtrack of this eventually. Sam Robinson voicing as Gordon. I mean, Gordon was just a same crazy bird who basically doing embarrassing things by the bird community. And I can imagine that actor comedian whose career was doing embarrassing things will voice the character as Gordon who's doing this. That will probably bring into that character eventually. And how he's a blue uncle. I can imagine being like a follow like further to the blues if they team up with the flock eventually. Michi Mama Christian Ari, if I pronounce it wrong, was as Joe. I mean, when looking at the Wikipedia on personal life, it says that she does not care about labor or the gender of the person that she dating is in a relationship with, describing herself as very much so a personality person. I don't care if you are a boy or girl or in between, what she says. And Joe being like this, I can't imagine it would be the case if she voiced Joe for that for sure. I don't know if Joe will be in the main part of the movie. I could personally believe that Joe would just be a small cameo role like the other characters we talked about. Yeah, I forgot to mention the pigs like Leonard's, like you think let's say Leonard family will show up like Leonard's son Smoochie, or even his wife after being abandoned grave and now have two fathers that are abandoned by their life before they see their kids for the first time. Then I think let's say the father like son side part of how he can handle the entire PD kingdom after like his son would just take over, or just gonna have that doing it and still have his father still being the king of the the Pinky Kingdom. Heck, smooching was originally going to be in the first Angry Birds movie, but they cut it for unknown reason, and he was going to appear in this council television series called Back Pinky Legend of Salt, which would take place before the Pixar's company Bird Island eventually. Yeah, that was actually gonna happen, but we never got it. Man, what could it have been if we got that out? If this. And finally, I will leave it to the last question that will be way much important to this movie than whatever this is. And that is red and silver and also ruby for some reasons. Well, we've all been waiting for the main protagonist of the entire series, the one bird that appears at the very start of this entire movie bus. Red, and also Chocolate Bomb. I haven't gotten into them yet, but it is gonna be the side character of the story. And also, we get into that for a minute. Just like I said, the entire storyline of the first and the second movie, Red was just don't know what he had think of himself. He actually got the entire bird island like him in the second movie, but he doesn't know what he thinks about his people thinking about him. We see how he's trying to get into it in the first movie and want to be a parent since then, but his scumminess, his arrogance, and his anger made him a complete joke and an outsider to the bird community, which made him no choice but to become like this for the entire life. But without his parents being involved, he has no way to get connection to the entire bird community, so he would become this douchebag that the bird feared, which doesn't seem to get better. And even if he got into his anger problem, he still haven't recovered from his illness or the entire bird society, which lasted until the pigs show up.
Your house was ugly!
And you go off about the guess that they fight back to get to eventually get the eggs back under his command. The bird island liked him because of that, but even if it doesn't help that he got what he wanted at the very start. The hero was just another hero like Mighty Eagle, not the stuff the Red wanted. And it doesn't even help that the bird decided to move on thanks to this truth. So Red was now back to what it was in the first movie, which lasted until the pigs show up.
Hello! Oh!
And you can probably guess they team up with the pigs because of a new threat that could destroy us all and save the day too, essentially. But the main difference is that although the entire people view him as a hero like he did, there is someone who knows everything about Red's struggle. Someone who's going along with him. Someone who, just like Red, still the same struggle from the Bird Society. I don't want to get too dramatic. It's Silver, of course, your pluck. Yeah, Silver, the character and the relationship with Red is not that great. Oh, the classic Silver was just in his own right, no pun intended. The movie Silver were probably just literally different from his character once. Not only will you see her character be just a smart character, but also Chuck Sitter. I mean, it makes sense for the movie buzz, but on the classic weirdness, it doesn't. Which is what fans thinking about before Bounce came along and made canon that classic Silver was in fact Chuck's sister. Besides all the modern Silver in games that are influenced by the movie Silver, her character development was okay at least. She was smart of course, she is engineering of course, but her character development was basically just like what Red was. And the relationship, the execution was the most toxic. I mean throughout the rest of the movie where they get along and the whole bitch is just upset that it's just I don't want to say toxic again, but it is kind of what it is. Yeah, I have to say that thanks to someone that commented on why. At least their relationship was not that bad, but still, let's say the end of the movie where they get along and very nicely done until Tuck show up and ruin everything. But hey, Red finally someone that after being alone for the rest of his life wanted to get out of it thanks to Silver. Which will lead us to the third installment where recently on Kim Kardashian they confirmed that Red and Silver are married and have their kid voiced by her son Palmeiras. So yeah, Red is the father now, which I've been wanted to do since when looking at the Brook Pirates in the first movie. You could probably tell about that. So yeah, what is gonna happen to Red Santina as a kid? Well, I'm thinking and thinking and thinking, and this basically is gonna be like a family movie that I wanted to think about it, including the fans. But even if that could be in my eyes, what Red's going to do about in this sort of summer is what did I can say? Maybe like say Red teaching the son to behave, or like how Red being a whore behave with his child, or just like how they maybe like have his son to have an adventure, or some like horrible certificate that his son got kidnapped, or just have Red tell the story of the entire event of the first and the second movie. And oh yeah, I didn't even get what the kid's name is. Ollie. I think the sign will be like missing with where the silver design this that someone draws on the outside angle but somewhere in it. And I was speaking of silver, yeah, her character was just like what Red did. I could imagine being the responsible mother that Red and maybe let's still have her more brains going in this movie, even though Barrow would pose his style like Fred that could destroy them all. And for the son, honestly, his character growth was just like a personality of a Hatchley. A cute story with cute character, like I said. Cute things equals marketing. Imagine Ollie would just get captured by a new villain. That could have helped the stage for this not installment, as his parents would try to take it back. And speaking of parents, we're also going deeper into the mystery of Red's parents. So, as we know in the first movie, Red was an orphan and since the day he was born into this world, meaning that without his parents, he has no responsibility how he's gonna feel about what he's gonna do with his life. Because, like I said, he tried to be a bad person, but he thought like 15 years ago. But he want to be like it and want to be part of it, but he can't just become like this without his parents being involved, or sort of. Okay, I was mainly the reason why. So in the first movie, Rev was going to watch a movie in this house, but he did a problem to get a full movie experience. But wait, pause. You see that there? Zoom in it. Yep, that's actually real. That is actually Red parents. Or if Red was still an orphan or whatever, like, and realized his parent was still not there yet, I guess his parents was in adoption one. Yeah, the sandwiches was kind of the wish to be used in this movie. I could bet that Red Parents was going to be introduced originally, but I guess instead we got Red being just an orphan and with no parents being here. And yeah, if you ever wonder why this image is still here in this first movie, I lied. This video was a movie theater company advertising just to advertising the Incubus movie, you lucky piece of crap. Yeah, Red Parents was still being a mystery, and even if this original was going to be canon, either A, the parents were in fact did raise and probably died, or B, just an adoptive parents. But I think there's a bird that solved the mystery of Red's parents. A bird that is related to Red. You guessed it, Ruby. Now, Ruby, if you don't know, was the Red Young sister in the classic universe, of course, a new addition to the Incubus series, and was Kurimas, who was the creator of Ruby, which was a redesign of this originally. Yeah, that's basically the girl version of Red's design. I don't want to give you the history of Ruby. I will give you the link to the video Fossil 555 that deep dive into Ruby history if you could check it out. So yeah, if Ruby was going to appear in this movie, then we finally got two siblings. Chuck has a sister named Silver, Red has another sister named Ruby. So when Red have a sister named Ruby, we can finally get the missing of when Red and also Ruby parallel will be. And in fact, they were finding out in the costume universe in the comic called Ruby on Ice, where after being on the mountain and almost got pulled to death because of the pigs on the King Pig's command trying to find his father's mind, which is Leonard by the way. They tried to get away to after the pig spotted them, and as they got lost and some argument between with Ruby on why Ruby keep her past secret, which after some emotional rant that he is still his sister, and even if they don't go up together, her using her loud cry to get them to the Yeti beats. They are in fact her adopted family and grew up living on the mountains, and which Gordon, who still with Red and Ruby, who reminded this mountain as these two great friends that or look like Red and Ruby, which they got their eggs hiding in these mountains just for their survival, which caused Red and Ruby realized to find out that Gordon was talking about is their parents, which Gordon tell her that they got trapped in the mine, which Ruby tearfully just go home, and after Ruby returned to the site where their parents saw her for the last time, and she suddenly come across this locked chest without his shrine, which also keeping sure to get that to without his father's left. And after getting kicked him out and spread show up to join the fight and be King Pig, they really get back, and after getting know each other very nicely and came back with Gordon, they finally open the chest and find the photo of their parents and the eggs where they're born, which also owes a nod to the final cutscene from which is to hug the cutscene level from Equipus seasons. And yeah, it was the first time that we see Red and Ruby parents' backstory, and the first to be appeared in the series. Well, maybe let's say the image of the concept about it, the first thing for Ruby, but it was the first to acknowledge on Red's parents. So this begs the question, could we see that in the start installment? And honestly, we don't know yet. But as we see with this concept image in the first movie, clearly it is possible. Maybe, but as we see that Red was over this, it probably not like say the parents would just let him abandon and like freaking Ethan and Leonard, or something like if the movie was a space related thing, but like that's maybe like a Superman origin story where they just live in different planet and where it was just like Superman flying away into Earth, and Ruby basically just maybe living with her parents or somehow died but she's still a hatchling like it did in the Cosmic Universe. That could possibly happen because like I said, Red was struggling to find friends or even finding his family, and he wanted to prove himself, but they treated him as a joke, and when they proved Red was right all along and believed him, he hasn't got what he wanted. He wasn't just being a hero, he just wanted to have a connection of her. And the sequel just proved that he wanted to have this to have a connection with. So when the daughter saw it, West's journey was not going to be some bird that going to save the world from being destroyed, or that he need to rescue his son from getting taken away by a new villain. He wants to save himself, or one opportunity to say is finding his parents, and with stuff like Ruby is West Center and the parents in the classic universe finally be introduced, then I guess you could say the movie would be the arc of Red finding his family and possibly reunited with his sister Ruby for the first time he ever saw her. That could possibly have Red grow as a character without the being just a lone wolf for the rest of his life. He finally find one of these relatives that he never saw there yet, and realized that he was not alone. He really has silver and have his skin name only. Hey, I saw you wanted to comment on that Red has an older brother named Terrence. That will never happen, even when we approve that point. So we got all the answers that I described in this video. The new stuff from the Casa universe like Red Parents and his sister Ruby. Example that will be probably be used in this universe. Red and sister Silver have the family with the kid name only. The potential that this will be Incubus space theme. The three islands are now at peace at the events of Incubus V2. And if the new threat that's going to destroy them all, they're going to join forces to find a new threat. I mean, there's just more I can into. Like, if the movie was not a space related, and let's say a fourth island or a new species being introduced that we haven't gone into yet. The hell, there's many videos like this deep on what this movie is going to be from different reasons. But that's what I highlight it for this entire video on what I think this is going to be. The whole trilogy is about Red as a character. He is the main character of the entire trilogy, and just like other movie characters, he is to struggle to view himself and the world behind. In the first movie, Red was trying to find his connection with others, want his friends, and be a part of the Bird Society, but he struggled how he's going to do that, and make the Bird Society turn on him, so he has no choice on how to get there, and that causes him to be lonely. Red struggled to have friends in the first movie. In the second movie, Red was liked by the entire Bird After being a hero in the first movie, he thinks to the one where that he hated the pigs. But as time moved past it and the entire bird island moved on from it, we too fear that he's going to be the same person that he did in the first movie, and that he struggled to find someone that he felt happy about. Red struggled to have love in the second movie, and finally, the daughter stumbled, and that's what I highlight in this entire section of this video. His sister Ruby and his parents and even the child. I think what Red was going to be in this movie. Red struggled to have a family in this third movie. That's what I think about it. This sort of someone with Red will look like. He could struggle how he parented his kid. Maybe where his parents after being abandoned by them. Maybe reunited with his sister Ruby. Who knows? I think this sort of will probably be just him struggling with just on the family and maybe finding his parents for somehow. That's what I think it will look like, in my view. Will be the end of the entire trilogy of the movie bus and the end of West Journey as a whole. Or maybe they just have for the start of it if the movie was successful at the box office. Gosh, if they did. Oh god. Even when diving into what this movie is gonna be for this video, the space theme, the world building, and register without a family, we still don't know if the movie was gonna look like. We are still speculating on what this movie gonna be, and at the final part of the what's going to be releasing it differently, then we would suspect we should accept that, and it's fine. If the people working on this movie will want this, I believe that one character will still happen and eventually. Only time will tell. I will look back at this video and how much things have changed that I expected what happened. But even though all of the stuff I said was true, or some other things that would never happen, we can finally agree that this movie will have an impacting of the entire Angry Birds franchise so far. Like the first movie will lead to all around the Angry Birds games that are still on the App Store or Play Store, with these movie design for being a great example of why, and even when we got new Angry Birds games that are close to resemble the classic Pig Angry Birds, the influence of the movie is still there, like with the classic Mighty Eagle Peas and the freaking water. And this third movie will have more than impact on the franchise, just like it did in the first two predecessors did. Like imagine an Angry Birds seeing it with Ollie and his father Red, for example. Oh god, I will not be prepared to see that. Holy cow. And what will the future will be after this movie? Who knows? I could see Angry Birds games that are used to marketing this upcoming movie for someone like it did 10 years ago. And I'm sure what these future Angry Birds games would ever be after the Star Summer was released. But as of right now, we are still early to what we can expect it. Who knows what the future may hold during the production of this movie that will come up from next year, and will which is stuff we will be seeing will come out this year. All I can say is 2026 will be the huge year for Angry Birds because, like I said, in the past few years from this decade, the franchise has been more rock bottom ever since the first Angry Birds movie was released. With these movies designed previously Michael Chazada after Michael Chazada, and hopefully the system of what would have returned it to. And Angry Birds Movie 3 is the only one that can regain that franchise during the aftermath of his Firestore days. And with all my ideas I've been laying out, what the best thing will be, all I can say is I hope this movie will get the series back to what it used to be like it did in the 2010s. And since we're living the age where video game movies now become the dominant of cinema like Mario movie for now, Minecraft and other Paramount projects like Sonic the Hedgehog, all I can hope is Angry Birds movie will be successful since we now live in the era where video game movie becoming the dominant of cinema for years to come. So yeah, that's basically it. I will deep dive into the news of this redoing production, and once we got some trailers of a notion, I will make videos of that eventually. So if you don't want to miss it, then subscribe to my channel and turn the notification on so you don't miss a new video I'm currently working on. If you wanted to know what this movie is gonna be for you, then let me know in the comments down below to what you think this sort of novel would look like. I'd like to thank all the people from our side and for some to suggest all the character growth of this movie gonna be like. And the question is if I could have done all the work. Thanks to you people that commented on it. If you want to support the hashtag with friend Incubus, then join my Reddit and Discord server. The links to those in the description below. And that's it. So Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys for the new stuff that we're gonna see or the some movement. This is just the beginning.